Hello, I'm Terri Wells, and I'm telling my quilt story here at the Sandy Mush Community Center in Big Sandy Mush. And this quilt was made by my nanny, Lillian Payne Wells, and her mother, who I called Nanny Payne, and her name was Violet Payne. And they lived on Meadow Fork in Madison County prior to my nanny marrying my grandfather, Charlie Wells, and moving to Big Sandy Mush. When I was young, each of Nanny's bedrooms had a different name, and the one I loved to sleep in was called the green bedroom. And so I always wanted to sleep in the green bedroom. And part of the reason, besides it was really nice and cool and I loved getting under all the covers, was also because there were these beautiful quilts up in the top of the closet, and I always wanted to go in there and see the quilts and asked Nanny about them. They'd made them for each of us grandkids. There were 4 of us. I was the only girl, and then there were 3 boys. And so there was a quilt there for each of us. And I, of course, would always ask, when am I going to get my quilt? And Nanny would always say, well, one day when you're married. And finally I said to her, well, what makes you think that I want to get married one day? I may not want to. But eventually she did. After I graduated college, she let me have the quilt. And so it's very treasured because my nanny was very treasured to me. I miss her very much, and she was just a dear, dear person who had a great impact on my life. Not only did I wouldn't call her a quilter like some of the ladies here, but she did quilt these for us. But what she was is also a musician. She was very talented. She could play any musical instrument by ear, and she had a lovely singing voice. And some of my favorite memories are sitting on the front porch with her and Papa in the evenings after supper and listening to them sing. And that is my quilt story.